Sometimes product names and product branding can get a little bit silly, and sometimes it's nice to just find a product which just exactly says what it's going to do on the tin. So today I'm going to be trying out some products from Shiny Garage. So here are the products. We've got an iron fillet remover, a tire dressing, an interior detailer, a shampoo, a pre-wash product, wheel cleaner, and Jay's Wax ceramic wax. And here is the car we're going to be tackling today. This is my other half's Kia Rio, and yes, it's looking pretty sorry for itself. She's been banging on at me for a while to have this thing cleaned up. So let's get cracking on. First up, the wheel cleaner, Monster Wheel Cleaner. This is a wheel cleaner which has an iron fallout remover built into it. Now at this point I'm just showing you it in real time for a second, just because I want you to see how quickly the iron fallout reacts with the active chemicals within this. You'll start to see a pinkish purplish colour appearing right now. You can actually see it around the outsides of the rim. It is reacting already really super quick. In the pump sprayer there is the citrus pre-wash oil mixed at a ratio of 50 ml to a litre of water in my pump sprayer, and I'm using that on the tyres. This is going on dry because I just want to show what kind of cleaning power it has with the tyre brush that I've got. And it is a very effective cleaner, will speed things along. You can see the wheel is lighting up. Purple, reddish purple going on there now, and that's all the iron fallout reaction. Looking fantastic. Spraying onto the barrel brush as well to get deep into the barrels. This car has recently been driving quite a distance, so it's not unexpected to have this amount of iron fallout. The Vican wheel brush there doing its thing. You can see this stuff is very foamy indeed, but is a powerful cleaner. And there you go. Anything else you can see on the wheel there is basically damage, curbing and scratching and God knows what else. So here you can see the pre-wash citrus oil going into the snow foam lance at a mixture of 90 ml to 900 ml of water. It is a very thick, viscous product, so it doesn't come out quickly. But mixed in the pump sprayer there, still at the other dilution ratio of 50 ml to a litre. In the pump sprayer you can see, spraying onto the car, it's a little bit soapy, not much, but this is one way of applying a pre-wash product to your paint. Now in comparison, fitting the snow foam lance there from Detailed Online and spraying this onto the car, you can see it does actually mix up quite a thick foam. I was very impressed with this actually. So impressed that I did entirely cover the car with it, and it lasted a good long time. It dwells quite well, but it's still easy enough to remove, and I did find that after rinsing off the car, I was left with very little dirt indeed. This was a very effective pre-wash product. So onto the shampoo stage. This is the shampoo here, 3 capfuls, which works out at 25 ml in my little measure there. And you can see again, it is a thick product. It's taking a long time. There's still a bunch of shampoo left in my little measuring cup there. I'm trying to agitate it in the water, but it's still there. It still hangs around. It's another one of these very thick shampoo products, very viscous. It doesn't want to come out easily. But it's in the water there and it needs some agitation to mix it into the water. So a good strong stream of water in there to get it mixed up. And as you can see, that's 10 litres of water and basically another 10 litres of foam. Very thick. Now with my noodle wash mitt, I didn't notice too much in the way of lubrication. It's not bad, it's not the most lubricated shampoo in the world, but it still works, it's quite effective. And that shampoo does stay foamy to the end of the wash. And while I was washing the car, I could pick up the sort of watermelon scent as I was washing the car, so it's a pleasant product to use. I know what you're thinking, but I did do the wing mirror, just not while I was recording it. Now, I'm drying off the wheel and the tyre here to try the next product. I need a dry tyre, and that's where this pet dryer comes in, very useful. High pressure air, high speed air, and it's heated as well, so blowing off the water and drying it out. Very, very useful. I've got a video about that if you want to watch it. So here is the back to black tyre dressing, and it's a creamy dressing. I know I'm skipping along the video here, but I didn't want to bore you. One thing you'll notice is I'm still taking my time getting it maneuvered around the tyre and getting it spread. It really did require a good amount of spreading because you could see it pooling up beside the lettering there, leaving a bunch of the product. And I was also losing some of my applicator mitt there. It really wasn't that easy to use, not like a gel type or a silicone type. Now the wax, the Jay's Wax Ceramic Summer Wax. The bonnet had, off camera, been fully decontaminated, so iron fallout remover was used, tar remover and a clay bar, and then finally an isopropyl alcohol wipe down to make sure that the surface was perfectly clean and ready for the wax. Not the smoothest and easiest to apply, but it went on relatively well. You can see there on the left side is where the wax has been applied. The right side has had nothing. Just wanted to show there that you can see it. It's not super thick, but don't apply it too thick. And yet again, a swipe down the middle section and then work across, carrying that wax around. I worked in circles and then in straight lines up and down and side to side to make sure it was perfectly covered. Now while I was waiting for that to haze over and to dry and cure, I got on with the interior cleaner here. Fantastic smelling stuff, and it works very well. Very easy to use, and a little goes a long way, and it really did freshen up the interior. Just a very, very factory finish there. Nothing glossy, nothing crazy with it, just very nice, and the car smelt great. So after 10 to 15 minutes, I used the short side of my microfiber to remove the residue from the wax, make sure it's all gone there, and then quickly flip over to the plush side for a final buff to make sure there's nothing left there and it's looking very shiny. Now here in real time, I've got the very fine mist setting on my spray nozzle, and you can see there is a difference immediately. The left half of the bonnet is protected with the ceramic wax, and the right side has only been cleaned and decontaminated. Now I didn't use tape, but I didn't need to because it's a wax. It only goes where you want it to go, and you can see there's a perfect 50-50 there. The left side has really fantastic round, uniform beads, and the right side, well, it's just going wherever it wants to go and doing whatever it wants to do. But those beads are lovely, they're all perfectly round globes on the left hand side. Pan over to the right, no protection there at all, just cleaning and decontaminating. Panning to the left, lovely round beads, lovely bits of water rolling off the bonnet there, just gorgeous. And a real deluge of water here really shows the difference. The water on the left side just doesn't want to hang around. The right side wants to sheet very slowly. The left side is just beading up very tightly and rolling off the panel. If your car is wet after you've washed it with this applied to your car, take it for a drive and I'm sure it will be dry in no time. I was just ever so slightly obsessed with the water behaviour on the bonnet. I actually spent a good 10 minutes just playing with this before eventually growing up and applying the wax to the rest of the bonnet. But for a summer wax, ceramic based, excellent water repelling abilities, I'm a real fan of this stuff. Throw as much water as you want at it, and it's just a load of fun. Okay, so that's the car, well, done now basically. So, what did I think of all the products? Let's have a quick rundown in the order we used them in. So, the Monster wheel cleaner, a very good wheel cleaner, had a nice foaminess to it when it was working, when I was agitating it with the different brushes. So it foamed up nicely and it stayed on the wheel, which was nice. The iron fallout reaction in this was bonkers. It really was strong. It came on quickly, and I don't think I've ever used a wheel cleaner with iron fallout remover which has reacted so fast. So they've really thrown a lot of the iron fallout remover in there. It does stink, but that's normal. If you know iron fallout removers, then you know they stink of rotten eggs. That's just the way they are. But it was a really good wheel cleaner. Drawback to this product, it's not dilutable in any way, and that's because it has the iron fallout remover. Obviously, if you want better value for money, a dilutable product is always going to work out better for you. But for a product which has a decent amount of punch and does two jobs in one, if that's what you're looking for, to really clean your wheels. And I didn't expect those wheels to be as bad as they were, but it has just come back from a 1,000-mile journey down to Wales and back. This is actually really good for that situation. So if you're looking for some punch and you want to get rid of the contaminants on your wheels, that's a good product actually. Like I said, it's not the best value for money because you will go through quite a lot of it. So it won't do loads and loads of goes, but if you've got a regular maintenance wheel cleaner and then you've got this for the times that you need to give it some extra kick, that's a good product. Next up was the pre-wash citrus oil. Now the reason it was oil, I think, is likely because of how thick it is. It is a thick product. Now using this in both the pump sprayer and the snow foam lance, I really enjoyed both. I used it in the pump sprayer to clean the tires. It did a good job there. It is basically an all-purpose cleaner, and it did a really good job. In fact, I soaked the wheels with the pump sprayer separately on one side of the car, and I found that the wheel cleaner didn't have to clean as much, and the tires were cleaner already just from giving it a hit and then a rinse off. So it does have some punch to it. And when I used it through the snow foam lance as well, it gave a nice thick foam. That was basically 900 ml water and 90 ml of the product. It is thicker, so there is a slight downside to that in that it takes a while to pour out. It's not a product you can use quickly, but it did a good job, and it did really attack that dirt, and when I rinsed off the car afterwards, I found there was very little dirt left. So it did a good job in that respect. So it's good. It's a multi-use product. You can use it like a snow foam, and you can use it like an APC, and you can mix it accordingly. So I really quite liked that. Then moving on to what did I use next? Here we go, the shampoo. The shampoo is nice. Has a nice scent to it. I can't quite tell. It's kind of still got some dribbling down here. It's like a sort of watermelony kind of flavor, scent. Don't drink this. So it was nice. It frothed up nicely. It wasn't the slickest shampoo I've ever used. I have used slicker, but it certainly wasn't by any means bad. I would have liked a little bit more slickness, but not bad as a shampoo. The one drawback, and I will show you here, is that because it's so thick, if you saw me pouring it into the bucket, it's a very thick product, which means when you're using capfuls to measure it, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's running down the bottle here because I used the caps to measure it. And like I said, 3 capfuls to 10 litres, that works out about 25 millilitres to 10 litres of water. That's not a bad dilution ratio at all. But when you use the cap and you pour it, unless you absolutely make sure it's all gone, because it comes out so slowly, because it's so thick, it's syrupy, it means that when you put the cap back on, whatever's left in there runs down the bottle. It's not the end of the world, but it was a little bit of an annoyance, because now I've got it all over my fingers. I haven't even got a cloth. Never mind, I'll use this thing here. That leads us on to the Back to Black tire dressing. I'm not really a big fan of this because it's a creamy type, and I don't really like creamy types. I prefer a gel type or a silicone base. That's a personal preference. If you like this thing, if you like this kind of thing, then it's good. It does say it's SiO2 infused, which means that you're going to get some repellency from that, and it should hopefully hang on to the tires a little bit longer. It certainly did have a darkening effect. It certainly did look nice on the tire, but I also did find that using it, because it's creamy, it needs more working in, and it kind of left that creamy thickness behind. It needed to be spread out really well, and it was shredding my my applicator mitt here. The pad, it was starting to pull off bits of microfiber. There's bald bits on this now, and they were sticking to the tire. So it wasn't ideal, but if that's your kind of thing and you've got a better way of applying it than this, that's the trouble with tires, with the sharp edges of the lettering and all these little cuts they've got in them. It does shred your applicators. So I guess if there was a better way of applying it, maybe I'd get on with it a little bit better. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't really something I would choose to go for. However, that's that. The Detox, the iron fallout remover. I wasn't originally planning on using this because I didn't think that the wheel cleaner would have such an impact on the wheels. I was going to use this separately, but the wheel cleaner just pulled all the iron out of those wheels. It was fantastic. What that does mean is that I didn't really get a chance to try this, but it's an iron fallout remover. We all know what they do. I did actually use it off camera. What I did was I made sure that the bonnet was fully decontaminated. I sprayed this on. I didn't see any contamination on the bonnet, but I used it nonetheless. What it also did there was help make sure that any protection that was on that bonnet before was killed off, because iron fallout removers do tend to do that. It does stink like rotten eggs. That's fine. That's what these iron fallout removers do. So I can't say either way about this, but it's an iron fallout remover. You know, when you've used one, you've kind of used them all. That's just the way it is, I think. The interior detailer, this stuff smells lovely. It smells really, and they sent a really good trigger for it. If you, there's a couple of people, there's one guy I know follows my channel, Connor, you know you are, and it uses the Canyon CHS3A trigger. Great trigger, by the way. Good choice, that one. Spraying the camera. Did I get the lens? No, I'm okay. So apart from that, this stuff smells lovely. It goes on and comes off really nice, so it does freshen up your cockpit a little bit. And I believe, if I read in the instructions here again, what it said was that it can be used on all your plastic, your vinyl, leather, wood, aluminium trims. Leaves a lusterless factory finish, and it has UV filters and anti-static properties. That's a really, really good idea. So UV meaning that the sun won't crack your dashboard, it'll protect it a bit, and what else did it say? The UV and the anti-static, which means that the dust is less likely to want to cling to your dashboard. So all in all, nice product. It was a coloured product. You could see it on the towel I was using. So it kind of looks tropical and it smells kind of tropical. Really lovely stuff. I'm going to keep using that. And then finally, the J's-Wax ceramic wax. Now, if you watch videos like these, you might most likely have seen Paul Dolden's video. He covered all of these products, and I know he didn't get on so well with this wax. I'm happy to report I got on great with it. Yes, it was not as buttery smooth as some other waxes I've used in the past to apply, but I gave it a good 10 to 15 minutes while this was curing on the panel, while I went and did the interior of the car, just the dashboard. Came back to the car, buffed it off, used the short side of the towel, then over to the long side to give it a plush buff at the end, and it worked. It came off with no real elbow grease. I managed absolutely fine with it, so I don't know if it's a time length thing. The one thing I should point out is if you're going to buy this, you're probably going to have to go to the website to read about it, because there are no instructions or anything. I'm not sure if this is just a sample size. I mean, it's a small pot, but I liked it. It was fine. It's not the best wax I've ever used as an easy to apply wax. It's certainly not difficult to apply, but I've used others which are slicker. But the result on the panel, that water repellency was excellent. That's really up there with some of the best. It also smells quite nice. Can't quite place the scent. Don't know. No, can't. It reminds me of fruit and chocolate. I don't know. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I'm getting. Fruit and chocolate together. I don't know, but that was a really, really nice wax. Looking at the end of the end product there, and you could see the water repellency was excellent. So there you go. If you want any of these products, if you want to try any of them out, I will leave a link below to the J's-Wax website where you'll be able to get all of these and more products. So thank you very much to the guys at J's-Wax for sending these down. I've enjoyed trying them out. I really like the branding of this Shiny Garage stuff. Like I said, that whole... The bottles look great, you know. They're good looking. The branding is good looking. I just realised this Back to Black stuff is meant to have a cola scent. I couldn't smell anything. They've all got, apart from the sprays, all the bottles like this have child-proof bottles, caps. That's a really good idea. Oh, it is cola. Oh, wow. It almost actually smells like fizzy cola. Yeah, they've done a good job of that scent. Anyway, yes, if you're interested in any of these products, make sure you head over to the J's-Wax website. Link will be down in the description below. You can go and check them out. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And while you're there, make sure you ring the notification bell so you don't miss my next video uploads. In the meantime, I've been Specky. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.